Are you stressed out? Is your mind clouded? Listen to this message as you strengthen your relationship with God.
Age is the breath of life. I remember those days when I was still on campus. There was this man, he had 5 master's degrees, and he was awarded a very rare kind of doctorate degree from Germany. He was a doctor of science. That means he had competence so vast that he could lecture in any science department whatsoever. He had a master's degree in mathematics, had a master's degree in electrical electronics engineering, had a master's degree in botany, had a master's degree in quantum chemistry. Hallelujah. In fact, when it comes to the class, it comes with 2 sets of spectacles. So he puts one like this, and then there's another one he puts on this one. So you will notice that he was the breath of life, because so he saw me preaching one evening, and there was such utterance in my delivery. So he stood by the corner. He didn't want to be seen that he was listening to his student, because he's a very proud man. And those of our lecturers that studied in Germany, the first thing the German tutors will do to them is that they will onboard them of everything that is God and bring you flat and interpret life from the perspective of structures and molecules. So he was a victim of that kind of colonization. Came back godless. He's the breath of life. He's the breath of life. That's the only thing he had to his credit. So he listened to me teach, and I didn't know he was listening. And then he invited me to my office after a lecture, to his office, and I obliged him. When I showed up, he said he heard me talk. And he must confess that I talk strong. I talk strong. But is it possible for me to stop preaching and focus on chemistry? And then when I'm done with chemistry, I can now continue preaching. I said, this thing we're talking about, a man's faith before a man's discipline. That's my own orientation. He said, what is faith? Okay, what are you talking about? Then, are you there? So I showed him how that he was operating from the realm of the breath of life. That he was a living soul. His soul was bathed with a lot of knowledge, and all the knowledge he had at his disposal was a function of the investment he made by sowing seeds of knowledge on the ground of his soul. After that discussion, I'm not expecting him to die as an unbeliever. Please help me ask your neighbor, what air do you breathe? I was overhearing some believers talk about their achievements in life on a flight. And one spoke about the magnificent building he has been able to put up, some degrees that he was able to acquire, and the cars that he had parked in his garage. The other one spoke about his travel history, education by reason of so many journeys, and the highbrow international courses, executive courses he has done, some in Harvard, some in Cambridge, some in the United States. He was a modicum of knowledge. He had acquired so much learning. And so supposed Christian people talking about, and everything they spoke about that was a credit to their name was on the strength of the breath of life. It was soulish. You don't need to be a Christian to build a house. You don't need to be a Christian to travel the world. You don't need to be a Christian to pay for courses in Harvard. There are 2 weeks courses. Pay for courses in Cambridge. Are you there? And that's why the richest African is not here. And he achieved that feat. If that's the scale of measurement for actualization, then we all are among men, we are most miserable. Because with all of the Bible study we have been doing, if that's the yardstick of measurement, it means we're taught wrong. Come with me to the book of John. I know this is Plateau State, so I don't intend to keep you long. But I intend to provoke you so that when you get back, you will think about your life. What do you want this life to become? In John chapter 20, this was one of the accounts of Jesus' appearance after his resurrection, and it will interest you to know that there were 70 days between the resurrection of Jesus and his bodily ascension in the sight of his disciples. And within the period of these 40 days, he had 7 gracious appearances to his disciples. And in one of the appearances, it was a school. He schooled them. Now, I don't have all the time to show you all the 7 appearances. What I'm saying is that the moment he resurrected, he didn't have a physical location, a house where you could go visit him anymore. All the times he met with his disciples after his resurrection were based on appointment. The account I intend to read to us in the book of John chapter 20 was the first encounter. This one was not based on appointment. He just showed up. The guys were afraid of the Jews, afraid of the political upheaval that surrounded the death of Jesus, and how that it was as though they were declared wanted. So they hid themselves. In verse 19 of John chapter 20, the Bible says, then, are you there? 19 of John chapter 20. Then the same day at the even, being the first day of the week, when the doors were shut, where the disciples were assembled for fear of the Jews, came Jesus and stood in the midst and said unto them, peace be unto you. So what's the meaning of this peace? We don't have an answer. Okay. And when he had so said, he showed unto them his hands and his side. Then were the disciples glad when